And we're back on Central Valley Talk. I'm Mike Scott, joined now by Élon Paige of Purpose Field. He does mentoring for athletes, former football player at Sac State.
Yes, sir. Yes,
now
sir.
teaching kids everything you learned along the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too, as well. Thank you.
So, mentoring for athletes.
Yes, sir.
Why did you decide to go into that field?
Ever since I was a young kid, that was just my God-given purpose. I just knew there was something in me that wanted to push people in the positive direction. I had a father who was a great role model to me. He played in the NFL. He did great things. But
what team was he?
Kansas City.
Really? He was a chief,
sir.
huh?
Yes, sir. But he also, he was the father that was there all the time. He was the one that was guiding me, pushing me in the right direction beyond just the sports side. So, I took that foundation and now I'm passing it on to all these, athletes that I'm working with, at the professional, college, and youth level. So it's pretty awesome to see the changes that are happening, within these young men. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So how do you find these kids, or how do they find you?
They pretty much come to me. I don't do any marketing, so to speak. I don't put out any ads or anything. Say, hey, come to Purpose Field. Everybody reaches out to me because they see how I am as a person. And
probably word of mouth.
Yeah,
right?
the character kind of speaks for itself, and that's the great thing about it. One thing I really talk about with my guys is image. How important your image is, to not just yourself, but to the people around you, to the community. And that's something that lives on, forever. Your image is everything. So if you show that good image, great things are going to come about. Great opportunities are going to arise if you're a good person and actually, being honest, being courteous, being respectful, being a gentleman, for my young men, that goes so far than just, catching a touchdown or shooting a basket. So
sure. Image. I've got to ask you this. There was a video circulating on the internet this week of a high school football game. One of the players rips off another player's helmet and smacks him in the head with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And he continued to play. That's what amazed me.
Wow.
But I take it that wouldn't fly in your book.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. My guys know. They know how I am about, sportsmanship, character. They know how I am, and they would never do something like that. And
tempers can flare in a game, but you got to keep it under control.
You have to. You have to have composure. If you want to play at the next level, you have to have composure. You see guys that lose it and they're not playing anymore. They don't last very long. You have to have that composure to be able to say, okay, no matter what goes wrong, no matter how mad I get or adversity or unfairness, I got to keep my cool and stay level. That's guaranteed.
You do that at the NFL level, and it's going to cost you millions of dollars.
You're going to be paying some fines, and that's not worth it to me.
Well, more than fines. If you're kicked off the team,
you're done.
You're done.
That's millions of dollars of a contract that is getting cut from your income.
So that's the kind of thing you try to instill in these kids?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's not just, like I said, it's not just about the sports side. It's so much more. I try to teach these guys that, they can own businesses one day, that they can, be politicians one day. They can be more than just that guy who wears the helmet, and the three people that I really like to base everything off of, I say, look at Steve Jobs, look at Voltaire, the father of democracy, and look at Achilles, and I want you to put all those three things together, put those three minds together and see what you have. You got a warrior, you got a ingenious inventor who pretty much changed the face of technology, and then you got one of the greatest thinkers of all time. You put those three things together, what do you have? That's an unstoppable person right there. So that's the kind of philosophy. That's the kind of thing that I'm trying to put into these young men, and they're picking it up and they're responding to it. It's amazing to see. It really is.
Now, do you charge for your service?
I do. Basically, the way it works, there has to be an income side to it. So
you have to make some money.
I do the physical training. Accompany with it, so you're getting the mentoring with it, but it's the physical training that they're paying for. So that's kind of how it generates that income. But most of the income that I make ends up going right back out, to them.
Funny how that works.
I buy a lot of gear for them. I do a lot of community service. We're going out to the community where I'm doing speaking engagements. We're giving out food to the homeless. At the Poverello House. We're going and cleaning up. Parks. We're doing youth camps for the kids, and all that stuff. Is about it's about giving back, and that's the number one thing that my dad taught me when I was young. Is give back. The more you give back, the more you're going to give, and that's the kind of a mindset that I want to help these guys see. It's not just about you. You're blessed. You got a lot of stuff, but what are you doing to help the next man that doesn't have cleats, that doesn't have a father at his house, helping him out and taking him, giving him rides. I wanted to be that person that can show him that, hey, we got to do more if we're getting more.
I like your philosophy.
Thank you, sir.
I do.
Thank you.
We were
Thank you.
hoping to be able to play one of your YouTube videos. We don't
Okay.
have it today, but you have several videos that people can find on YouTube.
Yeah,
What do they have to
definitely.
search there?
Just search for Purpose Field or
Purpose Field?
search for Élon Paige, either or. It'll pull up a lot of stuff out of that search term. So there's a lot of stuff. Did some speaking engagements, just some motivational stuff. Just talking. To my team. I do have a 7-on-7 team here in the Valley that travels all around doing different tournaments and whatnot. So it's a lot of great content on there. My Twitter. And my Instagram and my Facebook are all active. I'm giving a lot of.
Are they all Purpose Field?
Élon Paige and Purpose Field both. So if you go to those, you can see a lot of different motivational content. A lot of stuff to really motivate you and show you a different side of athletes, and we're not just dumb jocks. That we actually, we're creative, we're futurists. We see things too, just like everybody else, and we want to, be greater than just, like I said, greater than just the sport we play.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Élon Paige, Purpose Field.
Yes, sir.
Google it, and you can look at the videos on YouTube, find out more about what Élon does. Sacramento State. Do you wish you played for Fresno State?
Not at the time.
Not at the time?
I love Sacramento State.
Really?
Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. Probably the best family I have, from that college days. Coaches, everybody was good. It was
Cool.
awesome.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank
we
you.
will be back with more on Central Valley Talk.